Well, I'm back in the dorm. Welcome back to my dormitory. This is where most reviews for the remainder of the year are going to take place. And we've got a very special review for our first dorm review this school year. I'm back in the same room, so it's going to be the exact same setup, except a little more streamlined. And I'm going to put whatever dinosaurs I've got listed on my eBay in the background. I currently have them all still packed up because I can't be bothered to take them out, and I just have been taking them out as I sell them, but whatever ones I pick up, I'll put back there, or whatever I review that'll come back home. So currently the display in the background is only my Indiana Jones Adventure Series figures, which is another line I got into. Y'all are here for the Jurassic World T-Rex Convention Crasher. Now this was this year's Comic-Con exclusive, and if you're wondering why this video is later than all the other YouTubers, that's because I had to buy it off of somebody else. Yeah, I got absolutely clapped by Mattel Creations. I had it in my cart, was checking out, filled out the CAPTCHA, literally had my card information ready to go and was on the checkout screen, and I was in like the queue to check out, and I had like a couple minutes and it got to my time. Finally was there, and then it sold out. So it literally sold out in like 5 minutes, I think. I was in line at noon, and instead of spending $120, bought this off a very nice guy I met on Instagram who very generously sent me this for $200. After shipping, this would have been $120, so to cover shipping from him to ship it to me and then as a little thank you, I think $200 was okay for this set. Pretty decent. Now, this is not a $200 set, do not get me wrong. But because it is a convention exclusive and it sold out very quickly, it's got that rarity tied to it, and the scalpers on eBay are charging anywhere from $250 to $400 for these things, so I'm not going to complain too much. But the Convention Crasher set is pretty neat. It's not 100% what I would have liked from Comic-Con, but it's fun. It's, again, Mattel is trying to hit this happy medium of figures people want from a convention exclusive, but not figures people need from a convention exclusive. So it's like things that are cool, but not people are going to throw a fit over like they did with the Donald Gennaro set, because that is still the only way to get Donald Gennaro. But they kind of goofed by putting the Bull T-Rex in the set, which is a highly requested figure. So they'll figure it out one day. But yeah, this is the Convention Crasher set. It comes in a bigger shipping box to protect it, and then that came crushed, and then this was also crushed. But that's Mattel Creations boxes for you. I'm not going to fault the guy I bought it off of from that, I guarantee you. He received it that way from Mattel. And this box is designed to look like an old CRT TV. You got the breaking news and the vista of the T-Rex in San Diego. I've always loved this shot. T-Rex Convention Crasher, Mattel Creations. You got the power button there. Looks like an old TV. The top of the box has got the old retro Lost World logo. This looks kind of like a sticker. And then you got Danger 1000 volts. The side of the box has Welcome to San Diego and Mattel Creations. The back of the box looks like the back of a television. You got the ports there, and power generation through play. You got the Mattel logos there. You got the traditional Lost World logo, and then a blurb about the set. When the Tyrannosaurus Rex gets loose in San Diego, nobody knows where he'll turn up next. Amid the crowds, costumes, and commotion, how will fervent fans react when coming face to face with this fierce dinosaur? Well, they'll just follow the screams. And then the other side has the InGen logo. This would be an awesome sticker for my computer. And then Mattel Creations. Underside of the box has just got the universal, looks more like a TV. And this is already opened. I received it opened. I did already check to make sure everything was in there. It's all in there and it's all still nicely in its package, but I did think the guy I bought it off of went ahead and opened this just to confirm it was all there. So we've got another box to look at, and this is the actual main set. This is a cool display box for a true inbox collector who would not open this. Don't know how cool it would look with just this big box, but it's nice that Mattel does give us 3 boxes to have and somewhat protect the expensive figure you bought, because this is actually in really good shape. Good job, shipping company. So this is the Convention Crasher set out of the first and second boxes. Y'all didn't get to see the first box. If y'all are desperate enough, I'll throw up a picture and blur out my information. So here's the Convention Crasher set. Now this is an odd little set because it's half things fans really wanted and half things fans are like, what the hell? Which I think does kind of hit that happy medium Mattel was aiming for But goddamn, people were pissed when they missed out on this T-Rex. I don't think anybody was mad they missed out on this T-Rex. So what is this set? Now, if you do not know, in the 1997 film, The Lost World Jurassic Park, the end of the movie has the male Tyrannosaurus Rex, the buck. He breaks out of the SS Venture and goes on a rampage through San Diego. Now, every year, there is the San Diego Comic-Con event, which is a huge event for collectors and fans of multimedia, and it usually gets exclusive sets for that convention. And Jurassic has done an exclusive set since 2019, and it is now 2025. So this is this year's set, and they decided to kind of do a spoof on that scene by having the Bull T-Rex break into San Diego Comic-Con when it was on its rampage. It's kind of a what-if scenario. Yeah, interesting decision. Very nicely packaged. I don't think anybody in the world ever asked for this. And I'm kind of peeved because this is our only human figure we've gotten from the Hammond collection this year, and it's this rando in a T-Rex costume. Now, it's good looking, don't get me wrong, but this could have been on Lucky Bastard or like an actual Lost World character and not some random ass scalper in a T-Rex costume. So that's my 2 cents on that. That's gonna be it as far as complaining before I open it. I'll probably complain more once it is opened. I do like this set. My complaints are criticisms on how I'd like Mattel to improve in the future, because I would like a mainline release of this buck. I'm sure everyone was. And then this, I'm just going to complain about its existence, but as far as the set, I do like this set. It's a cool set. I was very frustrated when I was not able to get it, but I have it now. And let's take a look at it. So you got the vista of San Diego Comic-Con's convention center here. You got the glass that's been broken. You have the windowed box. You got people running and hiding in terror. You got the buck here who's going to eat our convention goer. You get the Lost World logo. I like that they put it on there, but it's also not really a Lost World set. It's like Lost World gets love, but only rarely, and it's always situational. Side of the box has the Lost World logo there, and then you can see the sign. Looks more like the convention center. In the back of the box, you've got some fans running. I have a theory that these are the people who worked on the set because they've referenced the set designers in the past on Mattel Creation sets. So these are probably those people, more than likely, or other Mattel employees. That's my guess. Underside of the box is blank. This side of the box says, notice, please call 911 immediately if you encounter a large lizard. You got a tree. And then you got the convention center. So I'm going to go ahead and destroy all value this set has by opening it up and putting it together. So I'm going to have you guys watch me destroy the value in real time right here. So 3, 2, 1. Now the set is worthless. This set is so goofy. Here's everything out of the box, and it does so much right, but also frustrates me in so many ways at the same time. I think I would be much nicer to this set if I had gotten it off of Mattel Creations initially, and not have had to pay for one after the fact. I think my opinion would be a bit higher, but because I had to get it in such an unconventional way, I think that might impact how I feel about it a little bit. I really like parts of it, and then I really don't like other parts of it. In my head, before I got it, I kind of viewed this as like a a sequel to the Gennaro set, and in many aspects it is. It's the same size, it was the same price. I think Mattel just needs to keep working on striking up that happy medium of desirable Comic-Con exclusives that aren't essentials. Like, I think sticking to like side characters like Jimmy Buffett, who just has a cameo, or like if they were to do like doing people who helped on the films, like Steven Spielberg, David Coeb, Colin Trevorrow, John Williams, Gareth Edwards. This is just odd. It is trying to be a Lost World tribute and also trying to be a Comic-Con tribute at the same time. And neither of those aspects is all the way there. Either go all in, just have the set be this goofy little guy with these accessories, or go all in, have the Bull Rex, have Unlucky Bastard, have San Diego, Ian and Sarah. I don't know. Let's just get into the objective review part of what's included. You get the human figure, if you could call it that. It's the guy in the blow-up suit. Well, this one's actually a girl in a blow-up suit. You get a miniature of the set, which is actually pretty cool. You get an accessory, which actually, if you bought this set at Comic-Con, you get a big version of this bag, which is actually pretty cool. And then you get this When Fans Rule the Earth banner and the Bull T-Rex. And for hopefully $85 if you got one. If not, good luck. This is the set. So let's go ahead and talk about these things. I'm going to talk about the Bull last, because then I can just jump directly into my comparisons. So let's take a look at this super fan here. So here's the super fan and included accessories. You get this cool, I'm going to talk about the banner first, When Fans Rule the Earth banner. Now, I thought this would just be a redesign of the previously released banner that's Dinosaurs Rule the Earth that they did release. But this actually feels it's like a slightly different, higher quality material, and it feels like they did go back to the drawing board in areas. I kind of just wish it said When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth. But When Fans Rule the Earth, it's cool. It's a cool banner. Don't know when I'm ever gonna need it. It's neat. I'll give them that. Then we get the convention goer here, and he comes, or she comes with some accessories. We'll talk about the figure itself first. I knew already that it was squishy, but actually having it in hand is kind of surreal. Like, it's this squishy material. I really don't like how it feels. Not that it doesn't feel high quality, it just, I have some stuff when it comes to textures. So it's interesting. Also, just why it's really funny. I would think this was so much more funny if I hadn't spent $200 on it, and or if this was Unlucky Bastard. Hell, you could put Unlucky Bastard in the suit. But for what we got, it's not bad. And it's neat, and they executed it really well. It looks like one of those blow-up T-Rex costumes, for sure. And it's relatively well articulated. You get movement in the arms, you get it up and down. It'll also just rotate and swivel here. This is more of a dinosaur figure and less of a human figure, but it is also a human figure. So you be the judge of that. I think it looks cool. And then the legs also articulate. They will move back and forth. You got a joint here at the knees. They don't seem to move out, but you do have that knee joint. If it will bend, I'm gonna break this. Please bend. It says you bend. This one bends. There we go. You can see it bends, and then you do got swivels and pivots at the ankles. So you can get this to look like a dude standing in a T-Rex costume, or you can get it to look more like a conventional dinosaur, like hunched over. And he's a little guy. He's a little T-Rex. It just pisses me off to no end that this is our only human figure in the Hammond collection this year. They're going relatively strong with humans, they just weren't selling all that well. Which I get from the company standpoint, don't make something that's not gonna sell. There's still so many human characters I like, such as like Nick Van Owen or any Lost World characters or Jurassic World characters. We only have 2-3 characters from the sequel movies, which is a little criminal feeling. Like, they got the main one, Owen, but it would be cool to get some more characters from Jurassic World or the sequels. I'm sure we'll get Rebirth figures eventually, but this being our only human figure, little criminal, Mattel. And then taking a look at her, she looks scared of the T-Rex for sure. Don't know who this is supposed to be. It might be one of the designers. Who knows? and you can actually remove the head. And it's so weird, it's a peg the head in, which is so odd, Mattel. But there's that face sculpt, better detail for you. And then we've got our guy here. This is our guy head sculpt. And it's this like middle-aged dude in a beanie. Like, bro is here to buy out all the playsets and sell them on eBay for like $1 bajillion. So he can also put in there. There he is. He looks a little more happy to be at Comic-Con. So there's that. And then his accessories are actually kind of neat. He comes with the bag. You know, if you actually went to Comic-Con, you could get this bag. It's got a carry handle, but it's also a backpack. And inside, he's got his stash of merchandise to scalp. Just kind of some non-discriminate boxes and posters. It would have been kind of cool if Mattel would have put some of the other sets from Comic-Con as these, or even just like printed on there. But this is still pretty neat. And then you do get a miniature of the set that is surprisingly really well detailed. It's also a little cartoony, but it's all there. And it's got the mini Lost World logo and everything. It's all in there. Same with the back and the sides. She's all there. Really fun accessory. It's goofy for sure. And this bag can hold the merch, can fit our playset. I think he actually can hold the playset like so. So see, I didn't destroy the value. I still have it in box. It's just tiny. And he can put this backpack on. We've gotten several backpacks in the line now. They've given us a lot with Rebirth. So come on, Scalper Sam. Gotta put on your backpack. There, yeah, he's got all his merchandise. He is ready to go. He is tearing up the con. I've never been to a real convention. Is this how people walk around conventions? This is This is so goofy. God, I like it, but it also it frustrates me to no end. I'm having fun with this though. I'm having fun with this. This is cute. I like this. He's got the little Jurassic Park logo there. He looks like he's gonna have a good time. Is he gonna look good at all on the shelf next to freaking Alan Grant, Owen Grady, and Jimmy Buffett? No. He's gonna look really out of place. But who cares? This is fun. And Mattel, honestly, props to you guys for coming up with a fun set for Comic-Con for sure. Good job there. Not a good job on the distribution of this set. It was an absolute nightmare to track down. Let's move on to the thing people actually care about, the Bull T-Rex. Well, this is a loadable Bull T-Rex. That's the joke. If I sound slightly delirious, it's because I am. Currently recording at 1 in the morning. You see, we've had college move-ins going on, and you know, I work in housing, I work in the dorms, so it's my job to move people in. But we've had moving carts going up and down the hallway all day, so it's not been quiet. So I've been waiting for quiet, and I've honestly just been sitting at this T-Rex and trying to formulate how I feel about it. And I went and I looked at pictures of the previous Bull Rex that went unreleased as part of the Gates crowdfund, and I'm gonna say two things that might be controversial. This is a better T-Rex than the Gates crowdfund T-Rex. Now, before you kill me in the comments, my reason is that this T-Rex is currently sitting on my dresser, and that other T-Rex is not. So that's why it gets points over it. I do think that the Gates crowdfund Rex is a much better representation of the Lost World Jurassic Park Bull T-Rex. This is a representation of the Lost World Jurassic Park Bull T-Rex that exists in my collection though. So I gotta give it to this one because I have it, I own it. And it looks like the bull. Like, sitting away from it, I'm like, okay, that's the Bull T-Rex. But if I get closer, I'm like, it's not all the way there. This is retooled. You will see in my comparisons when I bring out the other Hammond Rexes. I haven't done it yet. I'm kind of honestly saving that as a surprise for myself, so I can look and be like, oh, that's what they changed. But I believe it's the feet and the head sculpt that are changed mostly, but they didn't do enough. Now, that Legacy Collection Bull T-Rex, I'll throw up a picture. I feel like that really captured the essence of the Bull Rex. They just didn't paint the damn thing. This looks like a green Jurassic Park T-Rex. Which, trust me, this looks great. This thing is really well done. This needed to be a little beefier. The head needed to be a little beefier for it to truly look like the Lost World Bull T-Rex. But for what it is, it's pretty good. While I'm still complaining, no paint here. That's it. Otherwise, I think this is a great figure. Let's talk about some greatness and some things that I've noticed. I do apologize that the lighting's kind of bad. Like I said, it's one at night. But you can see you've got the scarring here on the Bull Rex that is part of the new head sculpt. You can see that scarring is really nicely detailed there. The eye is really nice. It's this nice fiery yellowish orange. It is a different color, I think, than the other Rex eyes. It's not going to show up very well here, but I can throw up a stock image that shows it pretty well. In person, the eyes look pretty dang good. It's still got that fun tongue articulation that the Legacy collection, not the Legacy, the other Hammond Rexes have. But it has these plastic inserted teeth, so they're not going to paint or chip or anything, which is neat. I like that Mattel's moved towards that. And the gum flaps do feel a little more gummy. They don't feel like they're going to break as easily, and the tongue actually does have some like texture coloration differences. I don't know if it'll pick up on camera, but it has got different colors in there, and just different colors and textures, which I do really enjoy. Closing the jaw, pretty easy. You can open the jaw one at a time, I believe. It's not double, which is cool, so you can get it to kind of a more neutral profile here. Let me see if I can stick the tongue up a little bit. No, there we go. So yeah, do like that. I'm gonna close it for the sake of my articulation review when I get to that. But you can see this is not bulky enough. This needed to be a little bulkier, but it's not bad at all. I just think a little more bulk here would have helped out to really capture the Bull Rex. Moving down the body, this is your Hammond Collection T-Rex. It's identical from like here to here. No change. The arms are still awkward looking and not super great, but they are articulated, which is nice. Yeah, I'll go over the articulation later. You do got that middle joint that is gone on all the other bigger carnivores. It's only on the T-Rex. I wish they would have removed it. I get why they didn't, because there's just a repaint. But the problem is this joint goes out and then your Rex will droop. You'll see it on my other ones. I'm not really going to touch it because I don't want it to droop. I want it to stay nice and firm. These feet are smaller, apparently. They look definitely smaller than the other ones, but I have not taken a look at them yet. They do look smaller, but these are the exact same legs. So it looks proportionate, but also not at the same time. You can tell it was designed for a different foot. But you have so much paint on this thing. Like, you've got, just look at the paint on this leg. Now, I know I did complain there's no paint on the dew claw. Yeah, there's no paint on the dew claw. But you've got the brown base paint. Then you got green, black, that continues down. And then you got white and then painted. And it looks damn good. And then the tail is also really well painted. You got like the greens and the airbrushing, and it continues pretty much all the way down until the very tip of the tail. That is in a classic Mattel fashion, unpainted. But I lied. You do have paint all the way down to the end, just not the black. So they could have done more. I think they wanted to save that extra 5-6-ish cents to not paint the end there. That's Mattel for you. Yeah, just this Rex is really nice, really well detailed. You can tell someone really put some love into this set, and it definitely feels very premium, like a convention exclusive figure should. I just think locking the Bull T-Rex, a fan favorite Jurassic T-Rex, this T-Rex gets screwed over so often. It was in the crowdfund, it failed. Then they did that shitty Legacy Collection version, it sucked. And then now you can finally get the Bull Rex, but it's stuck in a Comic-Con set that sold out instantly. So, Bull T-Rex fans have not been the most loved by Mattel. But he's here, finally. It's been a long, rough road for a good old Bull here. But he's in the collection, and he can join Rexy and Spinosaurus and Giganotosaurus in the larger carnivores of the Hammond Collection. Hopefully we get that in Indominus soon. Let's go over articulation on this guy, but we're going to look at it from this side. So, as you saw earlier, you can actually see the eye showing up a little bit there. Let's see. Yeah, you can see the eye a bit better in this light. looks good. So Articulation, it's a Hammond Collection figure. It's going to be highly articulated. However, it is an older body for Hammond Collection figure, so it's a little more awkward. So the newer figures are much more streamlined and smooth feeling. It's crazy to think the Hammond Collection is like a 4-year-old line at this point. But the head is articulated. The jaws already kind of showed off. Will open there. They are independent of each other. I can bring this one up. Are they not independent? They're independent on the other. They might not be independent. They might... you know what? Now I think about it, I don't think the original was independently articulated. Let's see. I close you without closing you. Yes, they are independent of each other. I thought they were. But yeah, the jaw is articulated. The head does move up and down and will rotate side to side like that, so you can get it to look. This is also articulated. This is a more rubbery piece, so you can get the Rex to do some kind of cool poses there. The arms are articulated. They'll move up and down. They will also move out. There's also articulation at the elbow and at the wrist, so you can really get some nice poses out of your bull T-Rex. But I will say it does feel a little fragile, and this is a figure that's pretty much irreplaceable, so please be careful with your bull T-Rex, because you're not getting another one unless you fork over some cash. Here's that joint in the middle. I will move it for the sake of review. It does move side. Hopefully they've strengthened this joint. If not, I'm gonna be a little sad because this joint is a pain and I hate it and everyone else hates it. It's cool initially, kind. Age has not been kind to the original Hammond Collection T-Rexes. The legs are also articulated. They'll move back, forth. They also move out and in, so you can really get this guy to lean down, be a T-Rex. The bull T-Rex stands tall and proud though, so they're having to do that. Got articulation here at the knee. It's a bit janky. It's like this weird double joint, so it will move here and here, so you can get it to kind of go full 90 degrees, and then you can move it back. It's a really weird and awkward joint. It is not a design I like. They've definitely improved it over the years for sure, but for the time it worked in 25, it works less so, but that's fine. It's gonna look a little awkward till I really get it posed. You got a swivel here. It also will bend on my original Hammond Collection Rex. It's got a quality defect on my leg. You can't bend it. Do be careful though, because like I said, these are kind of fragile joints. You do got swivel and pivot at the foot, so it will swivel and also bend. So you can really get a pretty wide range of motion out of your Hammond Collection T-Rex. It's just kind of janky. That's just the design of the original Hammond Collection T-Rex. That design just not hold up in the big 25. Moving on to the tail. Please stand. I do not want you to topple. You are too expensive to topple. Please stand. I'm delirious. T-Rex's tail will rotate side to side all around. I do believe this is removable. They did change that. I'm not going to try to remove it, but I think I've seen people remove it online, and I saw a guy put the Spinosaurus tail in there. Kind of funny. And this will also rotate and swivel here. Here the tail becomes rubber, and so you can bend it if you really would like. I'm going to refrain from bending this tail a ton because I cannot afford for it to rip. So that's the Bull Rex. It's pretty freaking sweet. Pretty freaking sweet. Compare it to some other things though. So here is our two Hammond Collection T-Rexes next to each other, and it's pretty apparent right off the bat that there are some nice subtle differences between these two. Like I theorized, the differences are mostly in the head and the feet. Those are the two big differences. Everything else generally appears to be the same. So starting with the head sculpt, the original Hammond Collection Rex, not a bad head sculpt for sure. Mine is so defective, I really should have returned it when I had the chance. I've got cloudy, chipped eyes, and I still think it looks really beautiful, but it could look a little bit better. I don't understand why this is like now a $150 figure, but you know, the Hammond Collection market's a mess, so I kind of get it. But This head is much more, you know, it's Rexy obviously, so it looks a lot more like Rexy, while the bull T-Rex looks a bit more like the bull T-Rex from the Lost World. Now they're not perfect one-to-ones of either, but you can tell the bull Rex has more, like the nostrils are deeper and more flared here as compared to Rexy. This is not sunken in here. This is a thicker brow ridge and higher eyebrows here. So this is all new, and then these teeth are like painted while these are plastic inserts. I will say these do have a nice wash to them. These do not have any sort of wash, but they are more flexible. These will chip if you were to be rough. The tongues and lower jaws do appear to be, so it's different but not really. So like you can see the bull has these like bumps here while Rexy does not, but I do believe the tongues are the same, and they're generally the same. It's just the bull T-Rex looks a bit more like the bull T-Rex from the Lost World. The neck does look to be a little bit wider on our bull Rex, but not really. It's not as wide as I would have liked. And then obviously the feet are different on these guys, so let me get you guys a nice shot of the feet. That doesn't sound right. So as you can see, Rexy's feet are substantially bigger than the Rex's. The bulls, these legs are in the same place. Now these ankles are the same, but this foot is like almost, not double the size, but like 1.5 times bigger than the bull Rex's foot. Don't understand why they couldn't have done smaller feet originally, but I guess they were worried about stability. It's clearly stable. It's got these smaller feet, this one stands, and then people did so many kits and they stand perfectly fine. So I get why they went back and redid it. They do look good. I will give a point to the Rexy because they do have paint on the dew claw of the foot. You can see that there. It does have paint, and the bull T-Rex does not have paint on his dew claw, unfortunately. That would have been nice, but they did not get that. No paint. Bit of a bummer, but not a deal breaker. It's just the Hammond Collection original Rex needs as many points as it can get because it is a very outdated figure. I would love for them to do a new version. I feel like if they could do the Rebirth Rex instead of Rexy, or if you do want to do Rexy, do her Jurassic World look where she's a little skinnier. That would be neat. And speaking of Rexy, there is another variant. So this is the standard Hammond Collection version. And then I do have the other Comic-Con Rex. This is this one that came with Gennaro. This one is a bit of an odd one. It's got darker colors. It matches the animatronics colors a bit better in the movie. And then I can guarantee you it's not going to pick up on camera, but it does have a light rain wash that you can see, maybe if I you can see like the glisten there. It's that little bit of a rain wash on there, so it looks like it has rain on it. It's a cool figure, don't get me wrong. This is much more fitting for a convention figure, like a slightly different coloration with a fun little extra wash on it. Don't ever put a heavily requested dinosaur in a convention set. Mattel will learn eventually. Speaking of other dinosaurs, so here's the bull T-Rex next to the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus. Now, Spino is just utter perfection. Bull, I think, does have a little more paint on him. I think that's because he is a convention figure. But Spino is, you know, another fantastic Hammond Collection figure. Truly spared no expense on Spinosaurus here or T-Rex. Both, they did a great job. Spino is super duper cool though. I love him. Bull T-Rex is also super duper cool. Both are great additions to the line. I'd love very much like a what if, or if they do want to release this sculpt as a mass market version, do the JP3 T-Rex. Mattel's not even attempted a JP3 T-Rex. So I know it just shows up and dies, but I still think it'd be kind of cool. But yeah, compared to Spino, Bull Rex looks pretty cool. Here's Bull next to the Giganotosaurus. Now, I still think the Giganotosaurus is the best of the larger carnivores they've done. Spino's really good. I think Giga's better still. There's just something about having a good Giga figure that's really great, and I think this is like the prototype for these big figures. Like the T-Rex walked so Giga could run, and then this is just that T-Rex, a couple nice tweaks. So Yeah, Giga is definitely a cool figure. Highly recommend Giga, and it's one of my favorites. But these guys are both green. This is a much lighter green. This is a much darker green. And honestly, I kind of prefer the lighter green on this guy. Definitely will pop, add some color to my shelf. But that's Bull next to the Giga. And then last and certainly not least for comparisons, here is the Bull with his son Junior. And it's finally nice to have these two reunited. This was, I think, a 2023 figure. It's a pretty rare one now, which was weird to me because it was hard to get, but it's so weird, the distribution of the Hammond collection. Like, why is the baby T-Rex rare? But there's Bull and the baby Rex, and they look super neat next to each other. It's nice to have the family a little bit reunited. I'd love to get Doe in the Hammond collection. Highly doubt we'll ever get Doe in the Hammond collection, but it's fine. But yeah, that is Bull in all of his comparisons. So overall thoughts on this set. Do I like it? Yes, I do. There's aspects that frustrate me a lot. I feel like I'd be much more happy with this if I had paid retail for it. But for what I paid and the scalper prices of this set, do not fall for the FOMO. I am a 100% completionist when it comes to Hammond collection. I'm not missing a figure in the Hammond collection $300-400 on. Not at all. I feel like I'd be much more positive and upbeat about this set if I'd got it from Mattel Creations, because I did have to purchase it secondhand. I feel like I'm a little more jaded towards it. It's like a 7 out of 10 set. The Bull T-Rex is great. This is fine, just it's frustrating. This is our only human figure for the year. The accessories are fun. Everything's really nicely well done. It's just the whole package is executed phenomenally. It's just not really anything that anybody really wanted except for the Bull T-Rex, and then it's like, well, the Bull T-Rex is stuck in the Comic-Con set, and it's like, I want the Bull T-Rex, but now I gotta buy the Comic-Con set that's expensive, and it's like, it sucks, because if people are selling this guy on eBay just by himself because nobody really wants him. They just want the Bull T-Rex. This guy's hilarious. He is really funny as a Comic-Con exclusive. Mattel, please make some more human figures. I can't have my only human figure of the year be this scalper dude in a T-Rex costume. The Rebirth humans were great. Just please announce something. Start doing like Legacy Collection did. Start doing play sets. Like, sell. I would totally buy. Let's say they do this, re-release this Rex somehow. Do the JP3 T-Rex. Just the same sculpt, just change it up the paint a little bit, make it look like the JP3 Rex. Throw Billy in there, throw Udesky, Cooper, someone, or do re-release the Buck with a more film-accurate paint job. Throw Nick Van Owen in there, someone from the film. Roland Tembo. That would be an awesome playset. You get Roland Tembo, the Bull T-Rex, a couple of weapons and accessories, charge like $70-80 for it, and sell it at the mass market. People would totally buy it because it's a T-Rex and the human's just a throw-in. This is not really what we want, Mattel. Funny, it's funny, really funny. They need to kind of listen to us a little bit more as far as what the fans want, because I feel like there's been the last few months kind of a really bad disconnect with all of the exclusive they've put out. All the Target exclusives, convention exclusives. Mainline's been great. The Rebirth stuff has been great. No complaints there. As far as like your Target exclusives and then this convention set, it really feels like there's been a bit of a disconnect. Hammond collection, I feel like it's kind of fallen off again. It kind of has those ebbs and flows in between releases. It generally gets like this each year. We're in that bit of slump again, and the upcoming figures, there's nothing to really be excited for now. There's rumblings of an Indominus. I think that'll be super cool. I've heard rumblings that will also include Gray and Zach. Really would love that. If it doesn't, I'll be a little upset. But as far as things to look forward to, it's the novel figures, the Dryosaurus, the Mosasaurus, and Ornithosteles. It's like, well, okay, what is there to be excited for? And this set it's super cool in areas. Other areas it's super frustrating, and just the disconnect and kind of the general lack of care from Mattel for the fans. Like, they knew we wanted this T-Rex, and then they put him in a Comic-Con exclusive, and they didn't have enough for people. It was super limited. Like, this thing sold out super quick, which is good that it sold out because it showed people wanted it, but it sucks for those who missed out like I did. So those are my thoughts. I'll give this set, if I'd gotten it off of Mattel Creations, an 8 out of 10. In its current state, I'm gonna give it like a 7 out of 10. Really good parts, but you can have the best ingredients in the world. If you don't bake the cake right, it's not going to be good. So that's what I think. If you disagree, please light me up in the comments. Hope you have enjoyed this pretty objective review. Sorry for the length, and I will hopefully see you guys in another video soon. I've got a couple figures I can review, but like I said, Jurassic's a bit of a slump until September, October-ish, when we'll get another wave of Rebirth figures. Maybe we'll get some news for some upcoming Hammond Collection figures, and I'll make sure to keep posting for you guys and keep y'all posted. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the set genuinely, because I'm very conflicted on it. And thank you for watching. Take care.